Hi everyone, welcome to the new term, and this is a video to help you set up your digital textbook materials. So for the 100 level writing classes, that's Writer's Help 2.0 Lunsford, and for the 300 level professional and technical writing classes, it's the UA Digital Combo with Technical Communication 11th edition. This is to help you get those set up and paired with your D2L shell for your class. So this document, when I send out the announcement, you'll get a link to this document as well as a link to this video. So work through this document, and basically I'm going to be working through this document. So the first thing you need to do is to make sure that you have set up your Writer's Help or your Launchpad. I'm actually going to change this right now because I'm using this for both 100 and 300 level, your Launchpad account. What I just want to make sure that you realize there's specific URLs. You'll notice here that there's a Writer's Help Lunsford URL. And if you'll notice it just says Lunsford, it's because we're using this year, 2017-18, we're using the generic Lunsford. Next year, starting in fall 2018, we'll be having a UA specific one with the guide. But if you look closely at the PTW one, it says TechCom 11 eCustom. So please make sure you either use these URLs, or if you go to their generic one, just make sure you find the right course. I think browse is the one I want. No, browse isn't the one I want. Find your course. So, Writer's Help. Okay, so there's Writer's Help Lunsford. That's what we're using for 100. Now, if you go technical communication, there's a bunch of variables here. No, so there's technical communication 11th edition. This past semester they came out with 12th. But notice we have a University of Arizona edition. Guess which one we're using? So yeah, just make sure you have the correct course. In this case, I'm going to log into the. I always want to do Lunsford first. It is Writer's Help. There we go. Log in. Okay, so the first thing is make sure you have an account. If for some reason this is your first time using it, first time you visited the site, you don't know your password, make sure you click Forgot Password, and your account should be associated with your UA email. And if it appears, if you're still having issues, then call them. I wish I could help, but I can't. At that point, it's some systemic problem. Okay, so the first thing is just make sure you have an account. The second thing is now you want to start a section in Launchpad. Yeah, I have a lot of them here. That's test fall. Let's do a test spring. So create, yes. No, I'm not going to copy, but you could. Okay, so Rodrigo, test spring 2018. Please notice I'm typing in my last name. I would type in the course because you might be teaching 101 and 102. And I would type in the term because just think about this 2-3 years from now, you want that term. Notice I'm also putting test in big caps because I need it to stand out. Things to think about. Yes, you want your term. Make sure it's the right term. Make sure you switch the time zone. Arizona, we are our own time zone. This is very important. Do not prompt students to provide their campus LMS ID. Don't prompt it. The system will do that already with the way we're connecting it. Hit create. Okay, so we now have a test. Now, what you all need to do next, before you leave here, is activate it. Basically, that's turning on. If you don't activate it, you can connect it, but students won't see anything. So activate. Activate. Here's the important thing. Macmillan is helpful, and they produce this content for you, this email letter. Ignore it. About the only thing, if you really want to grab something for your students, grab the problems section with the phone numbers, but really ignore this. This link is the direct link to it, and we're going to connect this directly through D2L, and so you don't need this. So activate the course, but then ignore the link. Okay, and then I'm actually going to deactivate because I don't need it. Okay, so I in theory have an active course. That's what we did here. We set up the section, active course. Now, if you're teaching 2 or more sections, you might want to do master courses and branching. Here's the important thing to think about. If you are teaching, say, 2 sections of 102, but you use the same D2L shell, you don't need to worry about master courses and branching. If you're teaching multiple sections and you use different D2L shells and you want the content from Writer's Help to be the same, especially if you're adapting stuff over on that side, then you might want to do branching. My guess is most of you won't worry about branching, but just carefully read through this material. And if you have questions, definitely come to the Tech Tuesday open sessions. Cherie and Lauren will be happy to help, and or track me down, and I'm also happy to help. Okay, so branching, ta-ta. Next, now you need to activate your Macmillan widget in your D2L shell. So I'm in my D2L shell. I have the widget here. Let's say I didn't have this widget. Well, okay, I have the widget here. If you don't have the widget, you got a nice, lovely instructions here on how to activate that widget. I think I have another video for that. But you have walkthrough instructions. But the main thing is once you get that widget set up on this page, notice you have Getting Started. You click Getting Started, and it drags you through yada da to Macmillan, and then you get a laundry list of potential courses. Now notice, yeah, because I've tested a bunch of these things and looked at them, I have a bunch. If it doesn't have the little green button associated, it means these courses are these Launchpad sections are already associated with another course, which makes sense. Also, though, notice courses. So here is Launchpad Technical Communication. I'm specifically looking for Writer's Help Lunsford. There it is. Now notice down here, it now becomes really helpful to use your name, use the course name, use the section number, because again, once you get going and you start having multiple sections, you want ways to distinguish them. And English 101 section 201 isn't very helpful 2 years later. Okay, so I found the correct one. I'm clicking Associate. Yes. Associate this course. It's thinking. I'm going to hit pause. When it's done thinking, it generates a little success window. Yeah. Connecting it. Trying to connect it. There we go. Now I want to go back, and when I go back into D2L, instead of having Getting Started, I now have Connection and Gradebook and Writer's Help. The key button that you want to have your students use is this Writer's Help one, because when they click on it, it takes them directly out to the material. Ta-da, there it is. Now, there are ways to bring content into D2L from Writer's Help. So instead of having students click out here, you can have them go into content, and you can assign and have direct links to specific material down here in these blocks. And if we scroll down on this info page, there we go, tips. These 2 videos will show you how to do that if you wish. And again, feel free to come on Tech Tuesday and to talk to Cherie or Lauren, and they'll help you do that, or track me down and I'll help you do that. And I think that's it. Hopefully that gets you set up for your handbook. Thank you for your hard work.